Hello, welcome to a book up session. I'm Ashley Gunn. So I've been doing a lot of book reviews on just drama-filled series, and I wanted to do something really light, and I found these books that have strippers on the cover and was like, that ought to be light. Anyways, so we're going to be doing book reviews on Stripped by Emma Hart. It's a really fun series. I was actually surprised by how in-depth these stories are. They're legitimate novels about strippers. I was really impressed. Anyways, we're going to start with Stripped Bare, and this is going to be about Mia and West. Mia is in Las Vegas for her best friend's bachelorette party that she's throwing for her. They end up going to West and Beckett's strip club for the bachelorette party, and when they get there, her and her best friend kind of compete in a competition where she gets her best friend a lap dance, and so her best friend pays for her to get a private room dance, and when she does that, West is the stripper. At the time, Mia doesn't know anything else about West except for he's the stripper that's grinding on her. During the dance, they end up deciding to have a one-night stand. Now, they know it's a one-night stand. Mia doesn't live in Las Vegas. She's just there for the bachelorette party, so it's not anything where she's expecting a relationship afterwards. Anyways, the book actually gets really funny, where Mia's boss ends up having to pull out of a advertising job they had because Mia works for a marketing company and Mia has to step in. And of course, the marketing campaign is for West Strip Club. So that's how it brings them back together. And the book itself is, you know, Mia struggling about whether or not to be professional or not. And then after they kind of figure that part out, then there's the whole her dating a stripper and whether or not she can accept that whether or not he actually strips, he still owns the strip club. There's still going to be all of that type of atmosphere there. And there's also the long distance issue because she doesn't live in Las Vegas. So if they're going to pursue a relationship, at some point somebody's going to have to move. So like I said, this story ends up being a lot more in-depth than you would expect by the cover. And saying that's really interesting because from here we're going to go to Stripped Down, which is the next book in the Stripped series. And I'm not really sure if it's going to be the last or not. The first book ends with this really cool way of transitioning into the second book where Mia and West almost oversee a situation happening with Beckett. And so although they don't switch to Beckett's point of view, they kind of spy in on it. So you definitely know what the book 2 is going to be about. Book 2 doesn't do that at the ending. So I don't know if Emma Hart's planning a book 3 or not. Or maybe if she does, you just won't have that glimpse into it like you did book 2. Anyways, so book 2 is Beckett and Cassie Strait. I ended up liking this book more than I thought I was going to. Almost like just a really, really good family book. I don't know how to explain it because Cassie's a single mother of a 6-year-old little girl. She got pregnant when she was 17 and the man wanted her to have an abortion and then he just ran off. She gets help from her mother and father. Her father is sick and so that's a lot of stress on her. Cassie is a stripper. She works for they have 2 dance clubs. One is male dancers, one is female dancers. Beckett runs the landing strip, which is the female dancers. And Cassie is a stripper there. So one evening, Beckett sees Cassie not really quite into her work, and so they start having a conversation, which leads to them drinking. And after they get drunk, they end up having sex and then getting married at some point. In the book, it doesn't ever explain the timeline for how it all happened or anything like that, but they definitely got married. Beckett actually ends up calling and double checking with the couple that they are for sure married and everything like that, and they've decided they're going to get a divorce, clean slate, that kind of a stuff, because it was just an accident. And I think that Cassie kind of feels like she looks bad. I mean, she not only slept with her boss, but then she accidentally marries her boss, and then she's a single mom, and so it looks like she's after his money. At one point, Beckett does accuse her of going after his money. I don't know why. Beckett really irritated me, like several times. There were very cute moments, and just he was really great with Cece, her daughter. Her daughter's name is actually Sierra, and they call her Cece. And I absolutely love that because my daughter's Sienna, and we call her Cece. So that was the very first time I've ever read a book or even known somebody who calls their child Cece like us. So I liked it. Anyways, as Beckett and Cassie are planning the divorce, Beckett kind of learns a little bit more about her, and there's something about her that draws him to her, and so Beckett starts trying to figure out ways to kind of help and lighten Cassie's loads and stuff like that. So it's a really cute story. My point is that I picked these books up because there's strippers on the cover and I expected them to be light. It is amazing how detailed Emma Hart writes stripping scenes because, I mean, she legitimately, I wouldn't be surprised if one day she came out with a magic mic of her own. She is very, very, very good at writing those scenes. So I expected it to be just a light, fun book about strippers, and then it ended up being a lot more in depth, but I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved her books, and I'll probably end up reading more of her books. I really enjoyed them. I wanted to share this with you guys because it was surprising, and I love books that exceed my expectation. So for any of you guys who don't know, maybe this is your first time watching one of my reviews, I always put the author's link to the books as my very first link if they have one available, so that any way they make books available, they are available to you. If you have any questions or comments, put that down below. And then if you like my reviews and you'd like to see them again, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you all for joining me.